U.S. population, approximately 319 million. Of that 319 million, 13.2%, roughly 42 million, identify as African American. 17.1%, roughly 54 million, identify as Hispanic or Latino. America is 5% of the world population, yet 25% of the prison population. 7 million people currently under adult correction supervision, probation, parole, house arrest. 2.5 million behind bars. African Americans make up 60% of the prison population, roughly 1.5 million. Since Michael Brown was gunned down last year, August 9th, 1,140 people have been murdered by police. 700 people have been killed by police in the U.S. this year alone so far. On November 22nd, we watched 12-year-old Tamir Rice get gunned down in Cleveland by officers Timothy Lehman and Frank Garnback, both of whom have questionable personnel files. Lehman had been deemed emotionally unstable, unable to follow basic instructions, and according to his former supervisor at the Independence, Ohio Police Department, where he worked prior to joining the force in Cleveland, no amount of training or classes could help him. Earlier in 2014, City of Cleveland had settled a $100,000 lawsuit in which Lehman's co-defendant, Officer Garnback, rushed and placed the woman in a chokehold, tackled her to the ground, twisted her wrist, and began delivering blows to her body. The woman was assaulted after she herself called the police to report a car blocking her own driveway. On the 47th anniversary of the Martin Luther King Jr. assassination, April 4th, we watched 50-year-old Walter Scott get shot in the back on camera by North Charleston police officer Michael Slager. 8 days later, 25-year-old Freddie Gray fell into a coma and died a week later due to his injuries from a severed spinal cord obtained while in the custody of Baltimore police officers Cesar Goodson, Garrett Miller, Edward Nero, William Porter, Lieutenant Brian Rice, and Sergeant Alicia D. White. On June 17th, Cynthia Marie Graham Hurd, Susie Jackson, Ethel Lee Lance, DePayne Middleton, Tywanza Sanders, Daniel Simmons, Sharonda Coleman Singleton, Myra Thompson, and church pastor and South Carolina State Senator Clementa C. Pinckney were all gunned down during Bible study at the Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in Charleston by 21-year-old Dylan Storm Roof. The victims ranged in age from 26 to 87 years old. July 13th, 28-year-old Sandra Bland was brutally attacked by State Trooper Brian Encina after she was pulled over for a minor traffic violation. She was later found dead in a Waller County jail cell. Since she was found, 4 other women were found dead in cells across the country within a 2-week span. 6 days later, 43-year-old Samuel DeBose was shot in the head during a traffic stop on video by 25-year-old Raymond Tensing, a University of Cincinnati police officer. Since these cases, there have been 2 rebellions, one in Ferguson, Missouri, the other in Baltimore, Maryland. There have been an upsurge in new community organizers, mainly youth. Rallies, prayer vigils, protests, marches, etc. There's been sloganeering, everything from hands up, don't shoot, Black Lives Matter, to no justice, no peace. There's been die-ins, flag dances, demands to take down the Confederate flag, Klan rallies, and a serious showing of Confederate pride in the South. People want to know, will there be a race war? The race war begun in 1492 when Christopher Columbus started slaughtering natives. It was a race war during the 15 and 1600s when Europeans began kidnapping Africans and forcing them into slavery in the Caribbean, South America, and the U.S. It was a race war when our people were raped, lynched, tortured, tar and feathered, mutilated, and murdered regularly. It was a race war when J. Edgar Hoover stepped on the scene and developed a counterinsurgency program known as COINTELPRO, which framed, locked up, and even murdered folks who disagreed with the criminal practices of the U.S. government. It was a race war when Black Wall Street was attacked in Tulsa, Oklahoma, leaving 300 people dead and over 10,000 homeless. It was a race war during the Tuskegee syphilis experiment when 200 black men were treated as human guinea pigs and purposely given syphilis shots without any treatment. It was a race war when the 4 little girls in Birmingham was bombed in the church during Sunday school. It was a race war when Emmett Till, Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, and King were assassinated. It was a race war when the natives were given smallpox lace blankets. It was a race war when AIDS was manufactured. It was a race war when heroin, crack, and automatic weapons were dropped off in poor communities by the trainload. It's been a race war. Unfortunately, we've been massacred. Now we have to employ alternative measures and begin to fight back.